World Tank Blitzers, it's a Littlefinger, and yes, part 7 of the equipment series, and I know this is the one that you've all been waiting for. But first, hey, please hit that subscribe button, share my YouTube channel videos with as many people as you can, help me get to 10k subscribers, guys. Alright, so let's jump in. IS-8, this is a tier 9 Soviet heavy tank, and it was one of the few tanks that I did not have this equipment on it. So where are we at? We're at the Combat Power Tier 3. So I'm going to be able to show you comparison videos for a situation without either of these, with the vertical stabilizer and with the refined gun. And we got to talk about which one is best under different scenarios. But let's face it, vertical stabilizer is really for tanks that are on the move, in which you're shooting while turning your turret or moving in any form or fashion, because it is going to reduce that reticle bloom that you see while moving. The difference here with refined gun is that it is going to reduce your dispersion level, meaning that if you wait for the entire time for it to aim in, you're going to have a much smaller aiming circle. Now, we're going to jump in and do some comparisons. Does the refined gun do anything while the tank is actually moving? Let's find out. Vertical stabilizer, great for when you need to carry a beer on your gun barrel, but also you can see as this tank is bouncing up and down how that gun is staying on target. Alright guys, IS-8 lined up 3 different times before I installed any equipment, and then with the vertical stabilizer and refined gun, we're facing the building at 191 meters away. And as you can see with the refined gun, we've got a slightly smaller aiming circle, which is what you would expect. And so we're going to take these tanks up to 40 kilometers per hour to see what the difference is in the aiming circle. I know it's really hard to see that green reticle, so what we're going to do is overlay circles on them and then bring them together. And as we would expect, yes, the vertical stabilizer is going to be the most accurate of the 3. But what really surprises me here is how close the refined gun is behind. And then obviously with no equipment being the worst. So your 15% accuracy increase on the move for the vertical stabilizer gives you the best aiming circle, but you still get a benefit from having that refined gun for tanks on the move. In the next example, we're going to turn the tank and the turret at the same time, because vertical stabilizers should stack on top of each other and should give you an additional 15% benefit to that aiming reticle. And so we'll take a screenshot there when they're at 33 kilometers per hour and overlay these on top of each other. And yes, you can see a little bit of a gap in between the vertical stabilizer and the refined gun, and a big gap between no equipment. So this just goes to show you that vertical stabilizers do stack. You're going to get a better aiming circle if you are turning the tank and the gun compared to just refined gun. But interestingly enough, in my opinion, refined gun is right there. It is very close. Not a lot of difference when compared to no equipment whatsoever. So we've just shown that vertical stabilizer basically enhances the tank when it's on the move. It also keeps that aim smaller when you're moving and turning than it would be as if you didn't have the equipment on. So you have to think, is this a tank that I'm going to be shooting on the move in? To consider vertical stabilizer. Now, getting into refined gun, obviously that is going to make that aiming circle just that much smaller, 10% on the final stage than without. And really what I look at here is, do I have a tank with a dispersion less than 0.3? Anything under 0.3 is really accurate. And for a tank that I'm stationary in, like a TD that has bad dispersion, I'll run the refined gun. If it's a tank that has bad dispersion, like an M48 Patton that has good gun handling, then I'd probably run the refined gun. But if I'm looking at a T62A or something like that, which has great accuracy and aim time already, I'm probably going to be looking at the vertical stabilizer because I'm going to be more active and moving um, when I'm in a shooting situation. So it really is dependent upon your playstyle and the tank. And you really just got to remember vertical stabilizer only works when the tank is moving, but the refined gun works to reduce the size of that total aiming circle. I wasn't able to prove whether or not you could carry a beer on your gun with vertical stabilizers in Blitz, but that sounds like a fun test for later. So, with that, guys, hope you're having fun out there. Stay safe, get educated, not fingered. Littlefinger out.